What's up, YouTube? Got another knife review here for you today. Today we're going to be looking at the Gonzalez Dervish knives. This is the Navajo. This is a Midtech that was released from John a number of months back. I think back in maybe January or December, if I'm not mistaken. But really cool knife that I had the opportunity to get on the secondary market for a reasonable price. I believe when they first were offered, it was sub $400. So not extremely expensive knives, and so I'll be comparing that to a number of other knives in that price range. Maybe I know some of them maybe are a little bit more expensive, but kind of just seeing what you get for the money. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if John is doing more releases of this Midtech, but overall response to the knife I believe has been somewhat favorable. One of the biggest things about this knife is how huge it is. I mean, you can see it in hand. It is a monster knife. Features a 4-inch long and 187 thou thick blade of CPM 154. So that is Crucible's powdered version of 154 cm. Features really thick titanium liners on here, G10 back spacer, and then thick G10 slabs as well for the handles. It's got a titanium deep carry pocket clip, that kind of reminiscent of that demon tail, kind of like Jeremy Marsh or Jeff Vandermeulen, what they're doing with their pocket clips. Of course, they have like a longer one or integral, 3D machine kind of clip, so it's not a spring clip like this. And then it features a really huge lanyard loop, or not loop, sorry, lanyard hole here that goes all the way through the liner and G10 back spacer. Inside you've got Teflon washers, so no bearing system or anything like that. Still very smooth. If you can close it like this, and it's still really smooth. But yeah, normal D10 ball, steel D10 ball from what I can see. I don't think it's ceramic. But yeah, part of it's just the weight of the blade, pulling it down and all those things. So overall, a really fantastic knife. When you look at the finish of this knife, I'll talk about the fit in a little bit, but that's probably just on this knife specifically. I'm assuming the other ones are a lot better. So anyway, I'll go into detail about that a little bit. Jimping on here is phenomenal. It reminds me a lot of the Sebenza's jimping, where it's got these flats on here and it's very evenly done. Keep in mind, this is Midtech, so this is done by machine, not by hand. A lot of pieces are outsourced. So if you look at the jimping here next to the 21, it reminds me a lot of that kind of jimping style, which I love. I love the Sebenza jimping style. So the fact that the Dervish is a little bit larger, there's no thumb wrap or anything, but it really locks your finger in there. The larger jimps, really grab your thumb, maybe even better than the Sebenza. What else on here? Oh, so there's a lot of chamfering around the spine of the blade. You got this nice swedge over here. Even in the thumb hole, you can see how there's nice beveling all the way around. So that really makes for very smooth and very comfortable deployment on this knife. And either way, I don't think it would matter too much, because the detent is good, but it comes out so easily. So overall finish on that is really nice on this blade. I mean, you see how big it is. I had to pull back in order to fit the entire knife within the frame of this picture. Going into a little bit of the finish work. Oh, I didn't talk about really quick. So there were 4 versions of this one. He basically offered in 2 colors, an OD green, olive drab green, and then also the black, obviously. And then you can see it better in this shot right here. There's a texturing pattern here that starts kind of midway through the G10 scale. So it's almost like you have a faux G10 bolster, if you will, and then textured out like this. I think it looks pretty sharp, really captures the pattern of the G10. You can see that kind of almost like wood grain pattern here. And then they also had a smooth version. So the smooth version was a little bit cheaper out of the bunch. I think maybe $40 cheaper than the normal Navajo Midtechs. So anyway, and then in terms of the fit, I'm sorry, in terms of the finish, when you look at like the back spacer right here, I believe like right around here, you can see how it doesn't fit that well in here. I'm sorry, it's on this side right here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this in the camera, but you kind of have this little gap right in there. I should have got my flashlight out here, but yeah, but you know, there's little things here and there that you see over on this scale. You see how it's kind of overhangs, and then you see little chips on the G10 as it's fit on here. So I'm not sure exactly how or what the process was, like if he outsourced them, had them built out of his shop, or if he got all the pieces and then fit them himself, or what. But yeah, so there's slight, you know, issues here and there in terms of, you know, with this knife, as opposed to some other Midtechs that I've gotten, say like the VCP or the Birch V2. You know, all are not without issue, but you know, so again, I'm not sure if this was just one, because I've heard so many good things about Dervish knives and Dervish customs. So I'm trying to give this one, you know, more the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, really quick size comparison to these other knives. Here we have it against the Hinder XM24, and then here is the Zero Tolerance 0600. This one has been anodized by myself, and then this is the Doc Schiffer Large Recon non-flipper. This is a huge and thick knife. This knife, in terms of actual girth, thickness of the handle and everything, is as thick as my Hoback, my A15 and A10. It's also as thick as, say, the Direware, my Solo V2. So it really fills the hand, which is a nice feel. The pocket clip is relatively low profile, so it doesn't stick into the palm of your hand. Relatively comfortable, no hot spots. I'm squeezing pretty hard here, and yeah, so again, no hot spots on this knife. Other than that, not much to say, honestly. It's a good knife. This one in particular, though, has pretty late lockup, probably at about 80%, and at 80% lock rock. So that's why I can shake lock rock. So yeah, that's why this one is going to be going back to the original seller, but I did want to get this review out. Handle wise, very comfortable, so this could be a nice blunt impact tool, and could do a lot of damage, so it's kind of nice. It's almost like an incorporated skull crusher kind of thing. When you look at the, even like the G10 here, it kind of overhangs over the titanium liner, you know, so those kinds of like fit and finish things, I don't know, I felt like there could have been it could have been done a little bit better, in my opinion. So overall look and style of this knife, I think it's got classic lines for sure. It's almost, it's a, I don't know, I think it's called a clip point. I would call it a clip point blade. Just the grind lines and everything with the swedge and all that is really nice. The handle, again, is extremely ergonomic, really hugs into your hand, into your palm really well. So yeah, I mean, if it weren't for the lock rock and the really late lockup, I think I would keep it, but overall, you know, as it stands, it has to go back. So reverse grip right here, again, just very comfortable. Your thumb kind of sits in that depression, and it feels really, really good. So anyway, that's just a really quick thought and overview of the Dervish Navajo Midtech. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Appreciate you guys watching as always, and I will see you guys on the next vid. Guys, take care. Bye.